Alright guys, so in this video we're checking out the FMS PA-18 Super Cub, another micro plane. And this is based on the same sort of technology, electronics from Volantix RC. In terms of the flight controller, stabilization, you got your beginner, intermediate, advanced modes. Uses a controller that is almost identical, and then they sort of rebranding this under the Easy RC brand. You're familiar with the other Volantix RC planes. I'll link some of the other older videos down in the description. So I expect this one to fly the same. It's got the same 4 AA batteries in the back. But the thing that's different about this one is there's no screws for assembling this. So sometimes there's screws to attach parts and etc. Nothing like that on this model. Everything clips in, so there's no screws that need to be done. So they don't include a screwdriver, but you do need a screwdriver for the screw in the back of the transmitter. So it's a Phillips head, so most people should have something like that. But everything else just clips in. Very easy to put together. Aileron, elevator, throttle, and rudder control, 4 channels. The prop is breakaway, so will detach. And I did not see a spare prop in the box, so that's a little bit unusual for some of these. Usually they include a spare prop, but because it's breakaway, it should be okay. Again, it's a microplane, so not great for windy conditions. A little bit of a breeze today, about 5, maybe 10 miles an hour. So I expect this to fly pretty similarly. So let's get this up in the air and see how it does. Okay, so this one has a on-off switch on the bottom, which is, again, FMS, they make, nicer planes, more in terms of quality, build construction. This is a little bit nicer than some of the other Volantix models, but again, you also are paying for that. It's a little bit more expensive, something to keep in mind. But this one does have an on-off switch on the bottom, so we'll turn that on, put it flat on the ground, turn on the controller. Should bind up. Check out the control surfaces. They're all working in the way that they should be. Throttle up and down to get the throttle activated, and it's working. All right, toss it that way, but the lighting in that direction is not good. The wind's coming from this direction, so I'm going to fly it that way and then turn it around and fly towards me. Just that's a hands-off takeoff there. So the rate on the rudder out of the box is like huge. That's all rudder steering they just saw there. And then the gearing on this is the gearing on the propeller or the motor is not too noisy. It's a 10 size, I think 10-20 size coreless brushed motor, of course, in this class. They're all going to be brushed motors. But yeah, pretty quiet. Let's see if I can get this nice and low. Very stable. It's the wind conditions are pretty good today. You can do a lot of steering with just the rudder on this one. All right, let's see if I can get some nice flybys here. I think I got a pretty good idea of how this is going to fly control-wise. Bring it on in here. All right, fly it more aggressively with more speed as well. So I am in beginner mode. This is what I prefer to fly these little microplanes because these controllers don't have a lot of precision. Look how slow this thing flies. That's amazing. I mean, it is going into the wind. The wind, it's not that windy. It's maybe 5-10 miles an hour most. It's pretty consistent though, which is making this a nice smooth flight here. Just bring it by here at a little bit of an angle. Just keep it in front of me. Slow it down. Oh, and there it stalled. So there's a certain point where you can't get it to go too slow, and then it'll just stall out on you. I'm trying to make it hover. Let's see here. The little battery door popped off. That's no big deal. And the prop popped off a little bit, but it didn't break away completely. And looks totally fine. Nothing else broke off. You can hear the gyro going there. All right, so no problems there. Yeah, so just like any plane, if you don't maintain your airspeed, it'll stall, but yeah, no worries with this one. Just like a lot of these planes, especially with a breakaway prop, they will, you know, take the abuse pretty well. But let's see if I can get this to come by nice and slow. That's basically hovering. Oh, I'm so low to the ground. Yeah, those turns you can see are mostly rudder, nice and flat. Nice authority on the rudder on this model. See how the wings are pretty level there? I'm just turning it with a rudder. Okay, let's see how this does in some of the more advanced modes. Just curious to see if the model seems to be pretty well CG, but I was going to take it up higher. I'm going to put it into intermediate mode. So it still levels out, and it actually limits your bank angle. But it's a little bit more, so you get a little bit more authority. I'll put it into advanced. Okay, I can tell it's a little tail heavy. And it has a lot of up trim. I'm going to put it back into beginner mode, bring it back here. So let's see if I can trim out the elevator a little bit. So when you're using the beginner mode gyro, it just keeps the level anyway. In advanced mode, you have to do that, but I think the CG is a little off. It's a little tail heavy. Oh, now the wind's picking up again. Let's see how this does here. I'm gonna... Okay, so that's interesting. In advanced mode, it wouldn't let me flip it over. I'm gonna hit the aerobatics button here. Oh, wow. Okay, so if you hit the aerobatics button, it'll do the roll. It's very slow. So yeah, and I personally, I don't really find expert mode enjoyable on these little planes, because you gotta take it up real high in case it stalls out on you. I'd rather just keep it in beginner mode and fly low to the ground like this, where I can see it really nice. And that's how well these gyros are, because the gyros can, you know, basically stabilize the plane way faster than you can. They have, I mean, it's obviously computer controlled. And you can see how well this is flying. See if I can land it in the grass here. Oh, yeah, well, now, tried it. Let's see. Yeah, this grass is not short enough for these wheels and the size, so it's not going to work. But come around the other way. Let's see what the plane looks like on the right side. This is going to be downwind, so I'm going to have to take it downwind, upwind a little further and bring it by. It's going to come by fast. Yep, much faster. Yeah, these rudder turns are nice. They're nice and flat. How flat these turns are, really crazy. Whoa. Oh, I tried to get too close there. That flew right over my head. Get close. I need a thumbnail. Let's get it closer.